All right, subscribers, quick video on these Ryobi electric lawnmowers. They came up for sale on Marketplace for $100. Two lawnmowers. He said they didn't run. Two batteries. This is a 6 amp hour and this is a 5 amp hour and a charger. Okay. So I really mainly wanted that big battery, but I thought, well, let's go for it. That one's charging, that one doesn't charge. I'll see if I can figure out what's wrong with that battery, see if it has a bad cell or something. But I thought, okay, I don't need lawnmowers. I've got enough stuff here. But I thought, let's figure out troubleshooting channel. That's my channel. Let's figure out what's wrong with these or junk them. Okay, so he says he was power washing this one, cutting the grass, power washed it, was getting ready to move, dead. Didn't know what was wrong. So this one here didn't work at all. It was his first lawnmower. He said he bought them with points or something. Didn't cost much. Might have been $200 new. I don't know if that came with a battery, but he hasn't run for a while. So I thought, okay, let's take my battery. I had my big battery, and I don't think his big battery fit in this one. So I had to use my battery, and it powered up. Came right on. Nothing wrong with it. So I thought, okay, since this one works, let's check the interlock switches. This handle has to be pushed. And while that's pulled and held, you have to push the start button, which is right there. Okay, that starts the whole controller going, and this is just one of those Chinese controllers for a brushless motor. Not much to this thing, it's all plastic. Lightweight blade underneath, but this is a brushless motor, brushless controller. You can tell by the 3 windings, okay? So I thought, okay, let's see how these interlocks work. There's a switch here, which depresses to connect these together. They show continuity, so that switch is good. But remember, this mower was working, so I wanted to see how this one compared to that one. Okay, so I follow these 3 wires because all we have here, this looks like the wire goes to the battery to tell it like it's life or charge or whatever, but it goes to one of the terminals on the battery. These come from the battery and the little key, red key that just shorts out 2 contacts. And then there's these. These go to the headlights. And these 3 wires right here. Okay, there's a black, a brown, red, or brown, and a yellow, okay? So when you pull the go switch, it shorts the yellow to the ground. Okay, let's say black is ground. It shorts the yellow to the ground. So you put your meter across these 2. And every time you do this, you should get a tone or continuity, 1 to 2 ohms, showing that switch is working. There's just a little red on-off switch hooked to the handle underneath that corner. Okay, so then the start switch right here. You can see it. When this is pulled back and you depress that switch, all that does is short the brown to the black, okay? And that kicks off the running of the motor. And then if you were to lose the connection between yellow and black, meaning you let go of the handle, or you lifted up this handle so that the switch isn't depressing, connecting that yellow wire up to the top anymore, then the thing shuts down until it sees that circuit and the start button pressed again. So now that I know how this works, just the motor, the start switch, and the battery wires, I took that one apart to see what was going on. It was totally dead. But this is some kind of Hall effect switch here with a magnet, which means it will not run without this piece of metal being between this magnet and the Hall switch. Okay, so that has to be there or else it's dead. The whole thing's dead. Now that I put that in there, I took this handle apart and ohmed out the 3 wires, the black, the brown, and the yellow, going up to this handle. Okay, so when I had this handle apart, I somehow lost the little button, but I'll find it. So here's the little red switch in there. It's just a spring-loaded, single pull, single throw switch. Same thing with this one. When you pull this back, all it does is depress the on side of the switch. So I'm ohming that out all the way down to that connector that's inside, and it comes up, and black to brown works for this one, and then the yellow wire, I'm showing the switch has continuity when I short them together by hitting this, but when I ohm out the black from here to there, I get signal, which means this black wire is good because it's the common between the 2 circuits. And then the yellow wire between here and down there, I don't get continuity. So something was broken between there and there. And I also noticed this little blades will not engage without grass bag, mulch plug side discharge in place, which means this. And then also, prior to use, handle must be fully extended and locked. So, I'm checking the wire, and I see the wire, and this one goes through this handle. So there's some kind of switch in there that when this is lowered, because you can extend this handle out, it must not be depressing the switch in there. So in here, there's a yellow wire. After the yellow wire came up from here, I noticed it was pigtailed to a wire going down this handle and then coming right back up as a yellow. So what I did was I cut that wire here and hooked it so the yellow wire coming up from the base goes right to the yellow wire on the switch. That way this is bypassed. Whatever's in there that's open now, because I've got this fully extended, is bypassed. So now I got it all back together, put the battery in, held the handle down, hit the button, nothing happened, it was dead. But then I realized this was off. And the first thing I checked was that switch earlier. And I realized, oh, let's see what happens when I put this back in there. It's the mulching plug. And then hit the button and it came on. So I'm gonna put this one back together. Put the battery in that one, put the battery in that one, and show that they're both running. His big battery was good that I bought. The small battery was dead, not charging. But I used my battery off of my weed eater, my 40 volt, and that's what got that one working. So the big battery works in that one. My battery works in this one. Let me put this back together and I'll continue the video showing them both running. All right, here we go. Here's the big battery in this one. This is the run side, and this is where you put in your spare battery. We're gonna pull the safety switch and push the button. Okay, so then on this one, this is the one he thought wasn't running at all, but I've got my weed eater battery in it, and the spare goes in on the right. Pull the handle back, push the start switch. So that was it. $100, 2 lawnmowers, a little bit of troubleshooting, and came with a good battery, a bad battery, and a charger. But they both run now, so now what do I do with them? Who needs more lawnmowers, right? That'll close out this video. Thanks for subscribing and keeping up with my troubleshooting stuff. Right? Just make sure if you're gonna troubleshoot wires, you gotta make sure you have either a test light, a multimeter, ohm meter with a continuity beep or something, just something to help you troubleshoot these circuits, because like this one, it was just a bad wire and some kind of switch in there, and that was keeping it from starting at all and running. So I bypassed that and everything's good. All right, I've got another video of this $100 lawnmower coming up, which should be up there soon, but there's a lot of editing involved. All right, guys, thanks for watching.